Hello and welcome to Jellyman Education. My name is Jed Winter and I'm so excited to be able to share this content with you. Let me go and give you guys a tour and kind of a backstory on the site so you guys know exactly what you need to do, how to navigate to where you need to go to, and how it all works. Alright, so a lot of you may have seen me first on Udemy. That's where I got my start back in, actually all the way back in 2014, but I didn't start teaching Tableau until 2019, 2020. And as you can see, I did very well on Udemy with 226,000 students to date, almost 20,000 reviews, and 500,000 enrollments. So it went really, really well. Lots of courses, and one of the big courses was the Tableau training. As you can see, it had this one alone was 50,000 students, one of the highest rated. There's lots of ratings there, and it went really, really well, but it was missing a lot of things. Hence, I also wanted to go off on my own, and that brings us to Jellyman Education. So really the content you're going to be getting here, and a question I get all the time is, how is this different from Udemy? Well, Udemy was written back in 2019, 2020, and a lot has changed since then. I've learned a lot. There's been a lot of feedback from students on the YouTube channel, through Udemy, through the site, through training, through people like me, and they say, can you add this? Can you add that? Can you add this? Can you add that? So this new one is huge. So looking at the bundle here, so far, I'll say so far, because as you're listening to this, we have the getting started, the desktop for beginners, intermediates, and experts. Just those alone is already, I believe, 35, 36 hours. So it's already blown the old Udemy course out of the water. And we haven't even recorded Tableau Online, Tableau Prep, and a bunch of other courses as well, where if you subscribe, you get access to everything. So let me walk you through how all that works. Firstly, I think if you are especially a beginner on Tableau, the place you should start is this one right here, because number one, it is free. You don't have to pay anything. You just have to sign up with an account. You're not going to get billed for anything. The course is 100% free by design. And the reason is because if you are just getting started, you shouldn't have to pay. You should be able to test it out, check it out, see if you actually like me, if you find my jokes funny, all that kind of stuff, before you even have to consider any money. This course is actually quite comprehensive. And if I had taken this when I was starting with Tableau, this is enough for me to actually go to work and start doing my job. So it's got all the core functions you're going to need as a beginner, and it's free. It's free. It's 2.5 hours, and this covers a whole bunch of stuff. So you can see introduction to who I am, the industry itself. You can see demos of Tableau, and then we have an accelerator program. You'll learn how to do your first set of visualizations, calculations, dashboard creation. There's an assignment there. So a lot of core things that you'll need to know to get started with Tableau. However, what I find is a lot of people that, halfway through, they're like, I want to learn all the really good stuff. Well, in order to do that, you got to go and hit the bundle, which is right up here. So if you hit the bundle, this gets you access to everything. So I only have a single pricing model. That's it. I don't want to complicate things. And it comes with a money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, I believe it's the first 30 days. You can just cancel it. You get your full refund. There is a 7-day trial period as well. So in the first 7 days, you actually don't pay anything. So for those first 7 days, you can consume all the content. If you decide not to proceed, you just cancel your account. You don't pay anything, right? So it's very little risk if it turns out it's not something you're interested in. But if it is something you're interested in, you're gonna have access to so much content, it's ridiculous. So like I said before, these first four, so getting started, beginners, intermediates, and experts, those are now complete, and they are about 30, 36, 37 hours. So they are massive. They have, actually, I'll show you. So if we go in this one, I believe the beginner is 4.5 hours. There are assignments, there are tests, so you can actually test yourself. The data sets that I use are from the industry, so they're not like generic data sets. We'll go through a lot of the practices of what it takes to be a professional analyst, how I kind of moved up in my career, how you get better jobs, right? So there's a lot of focus in how do you actually get into the career? How do you use this in a professional setting? That's really kind of the perspective I took when I was designing this. It wasn't just here's how you do a line chart. The perspective is here's how you do a line chart when you're face to face with a stakeholder and you're solving a certain problem. And you got to think about, well, is this the right solution that the stakeholder can interpret, they can understand, that they're used to it, the coloring that I choose. So there's a lot of nuances in when you are a analyst. If you are just a kind of a meh analyst, do whatever you want. But if you want to be the best, you want to have access to the best opportunities, you want to be on a six-figure salary, then you have to know a lot of these principles in order to be truly successful and to stay successful over many decades. Let's go and check out the other courses. So intermediate starts going into calculations. So you get a little bit more advanced. You start looking at logic functions. This one is 10 hours, almost 100 lessons. We go through file structures. We go through data cleansing. You can see there's assignments here. We go through even project management, things that you have to consider when you're delivering solutions, data structures, and more. So you can see the list goes on and on. I literally jam-packed this with as much value as I could for you guys. Let's look at the next one, expert. So this one is the big one. So this is 137 lessons, and there's actually a few more lessons to go. It is 19 hours long. It is massive. There's a lot of assignments, a lot of explanation. A lot of the feedback from my original content was, can you do more examples, especially of joins and blends, relationships, level of detail? So there is heaps. Specifically, level of detail, I think in the original course I did maybe 1 or 2 examples. I think this one has 15 examples. 15, and they're not just samples, they're like case study example levels. So you can really learn how these things work in a real setting. You can see all the things we do, parameters, sets. Here we go, level of detail. Look at all these problem. Yeah, all the way up to 15. Right, we have analytics pane. We look at forecasting. We look at different aggregate. Seriously, literally, there's so much in this. So much. You got dashboard elements. So this looks at like the best practices of how we design solutions and visualizations, why we choose certain colors, and even if you click here, there's even more. Right? So there is absolutely heaps in this package, and all you have to do is pay the single price, 30-day money back guarantee, 7-day trial period. And what I'm planning to work on for the coming months and years will be Tableau Online. Let me go to the bundle. So in here, Tableau Online, Tableau Prep, but then I've also started designing the SQL program. So you're going to be learning SQL in conjunction with Tableau, right? So that's a massive one. Tableau data visualization. So there's going to be a deeper one on best practices for data visualization. And then another one, which is the how to get an analytics job. So that looks at how do you write a resume? How do you prepare for interviews? What do they look for? What are the tests like? What are the questions I have to be prepared for? What is the industry like? Which sectors, are paying the most, or which ones are up and coming? All of that will be discussed in that course. So I'll leave it there. I want to say thank you again for checking out the course. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Please reach out if you have any issues. I will be happy to answer any of the issues you are having. And until then, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.